Rates are on the rise, but should you refinance your mortgage because of it? Brent Wilsey of Wilsey Asset Management joins us now to answer some questions regarding rising interest rates and mortgages. Brent, good morning.
Good morning.
So, let's start right with that question. Interest rates are on the rise. Is this a good time to refi? It probably depends on your circumstances.
Well, and it does. Let's talk about interest rates a little bit briefly, because back in January 1st, we thought by the end of the year, interest rates, 10-year Treasury, be around 1.4, maybe 1.5. Well, we've blown through that. We've hit 1.7. We're now changing our estimates for interest rates to close the 10-year Treasury come December 31st, maybe around 2%. What's that going to do to mortgages? Right now, mortgages are approaching 3.2%. By the end of the year, they could be around 3.5. So you really got to think about, is this a good time to refinance? And there's so many things to consider. Does it make sense for you? I mean, what you have to look at is compare the difference. What are you paying now? And what is the new rate that you're going to get? And keep in mind, the great rate out there may not be what you get because your income may be different. Your credit may not be as good, maybe not enough equity. So you may not get that great rate you're hoping for. And also, too, think about how much the closing costs are going to be, because that's going to add to the cost of the loan also.
And when it comes to closing costs, is there a fixed rate, or does it depend on the price of the mortgage?
There's many different things in there that you have to look at. So what you want to do is hopefully have a good mortgage person. They can calculate all this out and say, look, your break even is going to be in about 2.5 years. Sometimes some very good financial planners, they can calculate it out for you. But you really want to know this number, especially sometimes people say, yeah, I might move in a year or two. If you're going to do that, then don't refinance. You may cost you more money than you're going to save.
Okay, how about adjustable rate mortgages versus fixed rate?
That's a great question, because a lot of people say, oh, I want to get that fixed rate. I want to lock in that rate. Well, that's not always the best thing to do. You got to look at the adjustable rate mortgage that you have. How often does that adjust? Once a year, once every 6 months? How much are the steps? What are the cap it's going to be? Sometimes an adjustable rate mortgage over the life of the loan, you could actually pay less than locking in the fixed rate. Now, the fixed rate will make you feel better because you know the future, but it may not always be the best saver long term. Again, you got to do those numbers to see what risk am I taking here.
How about a 15-year mortgage versus a 30-year mortgage?
This is another one that makes people feel really good, because now, like maybe 25 years, and gosh, I can cut that down to 15 years. What a great thing. I'll feel so much better. My home paid off. Well, again, are you going to stay there for 15 years? You want to think about that. Maybe, too, depending where you're on your mortgage, maybe it's better to actually increase what you're paying slightly. It won't cost you a dime to do that, and you can pay your mortgage off quicker as well. But make sure that it makes sense, because you're not going to save any money here. Sometimes you actually pay maybe a little bit more, get paid off quicker. Make sure, again, you're going to be in that house longer term. And again, maybe just pay a little bit extra on your mortgage, and that really saves a lot going forward.
You said pay a little extra on your mortgage. I once had a gentleman who was very familiar with mortgages tell me, and I don't mean to make you break out your mental abacus here in the interview, but he said if you have a fixed rate mortgage, a 30-year mortgage, and every year you can make one extra payment, principal only, you can take that 30-year fixed down to, and you'll have it paid off in 20 years.
Actually, it's 19.5.
19.5, even better. So, but if you think about that, if you write on the check or however you do it, principal to be applied to principal only, that 30 is less than 20. That's pretty good.
Jason, and you're right too. You've got to write down what that is for, because if you don't, they may just think that you're paying in advance and not give you any benefit. You've got to tell them that this is a payment against principal, not just an extra payment.
Okay, good advice. Did I understand? Do you have a podcast now?
Well, actually, I'm so excited, Jason. I'm glad you brought this up, because we have our first live workshop coming up Thursday, April 8th, 6 o'clock at AleSmith Brewery right off of Miramar Road. We are so excited about this because they got a big room there. I mean, seating is limited, but we're so excited to get back with the public and do our public workshops again. And go to our website, smartinvesting2000.com. Again, that's smartinvesting2000.com. All the information is there. We're so excited to get back to the public and do these in person again.
Well, and you can order a beer while you do it.
You can. It's no host. So
no host. Good. I'm glad you pointed that out. Brent Wilsey, Wilsey Asset Management. Thanks, Brent. Appreciate the info.
You're welcome.